from Los Angeles. This is Montserrat Radio. Listening to Montserrat Radio.
Possession since 1898, and its people have been American citizens for exactly 100 years. But Puerto Rico still is not a state. That could change, though, soon. In June, Puerto Rico is scheduled to hold a referendum asking residents of the island if they want to become a state or move toward independence as a separate country. There are potential problems here, though. Puerto Rico's government defaulted on its debt last year. It would be the poorest state by far if it joined the Union. Ricardo Rossello is the governor of Puerto Rico. He's pushing for statehood, which he said would fix the island's weak economy and is only fair. He joins us now. Governor, thanks for coming on.
Hey, Tucker, thank you for the opportunity. Excited to be here.
So in an interview in January with the Miami Herald, you explained why Puerto Rico deserves to be a state, and you said, and I'm not misquoting you, that the United States does not have moral standing to deny Puerto Rico statehood, and that Puerto Rico is in such bad shape financially, you said, because Puerto Rico's, quote, colonial situation is what provoked the crisis. Do you think insulting the United States government is a good way to become a state?
No, Tucker, I am a very proud American citizen, and what I'm doing is I'm shedding light on what I think is the last bastion of undemocratic behavior, which is having a colonial territory in the United States. My hope is that we can start a transition so that we, as United States citizens, don't have to look at territories or colonial territories as a thing of the 21st century. We want to move beyond that, and the vast majority of people in Puerto Rico love their U.S. citizenship, and we want to become a state.
Well, I mean, I agree with you completely. It is a colonial situation. It is unsustainable. It's silly. It's a relic of the past. Why not become your own country?
Well, that's an alternative, and what we are doing on the plebiscite is we're offering those two non-colonial, non-territorial alternatives. Way back in 2012, the people of Puerto Rico chose not to continue the colonial territory route. So now we're choosing between statehood and alternatives of independence. But I can tell you right now, Tucker, the vast majority of people, over 90% of the people in Puerto Rico, value their U.S. citizenship. And I think, and I believe that statehood will win convincingly in this plebiscite.
But why would it be good for America to absorb a third world country into the United States, a country where electricity doesn't work? The whole island went dark in September, as you well know. It's massively in debt. It's totally corrupt and dysfunctional. I mean, no offense, it's a great place and everything, but what would be in it for America to make it a state exactly?
It's a great added value, and it's a great question. I think we need to start talking about this. Puerto Rico can become the connector of the Americas. We've been part of the United States for over 100 years, but we also culturally have elements from South America and, of course, elements from North America. We speak English, we speak Spanish. Geographically, we're centered in the right position, and we have a lot of added value. I think, our economy can take a significant turn if we start addressing some of the local government issues, which our administration has already been starting. I am convinced that I have the most fiscally aggressive, fiscally conservative agenda in the United States right now. I immediately reduced 20% of the political appointees in our government. I reduced 10 to 20% of what contracts are and of the current budget as I took office. And we are moving in a path to reducing 131 agency structure in Puerto Rico to one that's about 30 to 35. So we're taking our steps, and Puerto Rico has added value as a destination. We have great doctors. We have a great education, higher level education system. We are a tourist destination, and I think it could be a hub of the Americas, connecting the United States to the rest.
Would English be the official language of Puerto Rico? I mean, this is an English-speaking country. Puerto Rico's not.
It is, but the United States is also a Spanish-speaking country. It's the third largest Spanish-speaking country in the world, and the United States itself doesn't have an official language. So I don't oppose. As a matter of fact, our public policy is bilingualism. We want to teach. We want to further our kids and our citizens to have both language and to be robust at them. But we also cherish...
Just because it's worked so well in Canada and Belgium, we want to try it here? Why would we want to be a bilingual country?
Well, you don't have to be. It's a multilingual country. What I'm saying is, in terms of its official stance, Hawaii has two official languages as well. Many of the states in the United States don't have an official language, as you know, and the United States as a whole doesn't have it. But look, of course, we would work under the federal government. We already do. The federal courts are in Puerto Rico. Different federal structures are already there. It's pushing through in English. So it's not something that would be anew. It's part of the system that we have right now.
Governor Sella, thanks a lot for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much
for your position. Thanks. Up next, Democrat.
In the spirit of the war against fake news, Montserrat Radio presents The Fake News Show, conspiracy news and a different point of view of current events. And now your host, Benny Wilson.
Good evening. Welcome to the Fake News Show. This is your host, Benny. Today is June 22nd, and the time is 4:19 p.m. Pacific Time. I'm late again. Sorry. And you just heard the governor of Puerto Rico And his name is Ricardo Rosello. And many of you probably asking, what am I talking about Puerto Rico? What does Puerto Rico needs to do and has to do with the RB? Well, let me just tell you something. Not everything needs to do with the RB. So get over it. But why am I bringing this up? Well, let me just tell you something. From my last show, I mentioned Puerto Rico. And I was shocked that I thought I had like 25 people from Puerto Rico who actually asked me on Facebook. I had over 45 people coming over from Puerto Rico who listened to my show. And there are more than 350,000 people with currency waiting for the RB in Puerto Rico. Many of them are holding their currency in secret because Puerto Rico, the whole environment, the whole, how you can call the culture, is really against real progressive people who are looking to get out from property. Because maybe one of the most corrupted liberals are in Puerto Rico. And this man is one of the most corrupted liberals there is. I mentioned on my show that the reason why Puerto Rico wants to become a state was because they were broke. They no longer have any other place where they can actually save them for what they've been doing for decades. Yes, I said it. And many Puerto Ricans, I call them Boricuas because Boricuas are Puerto Ricans. Many Puerto Ricans will agree with me. They agree with me because they've been led and they've been governed by liberals, by litards. They have destroyed the economy of the island. Back in the 80s, I visited Puerto Rico. And Puerto Rico, let me just tell you about something about Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is probably one of the most beautiful islands, one of the most beautiful places in the Caribbean. Puerto Rico is a dream come true. When you see those beautiful beaches, when you see those beautiful mountains, everything is beautiful in Puerto Rico. Okay? It is a dream. It's a dream. It's a land that you can relax, and you say, many Americans live there. And they all go, I would like to die in Puerto Rico. That's how beautiful is Puerto Rico. Well, liberals have destroyed Puerto Rico. They have destroyed everything, becoming from the number one source that many are saying is not the number one source. Well, it is the number one source. Tourism. Before, when I went to Puerto Rico back in the 80s, I was able to walk on any street in Puerto Rico, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and nothing will happen to me. Today, if you're walking after 6 p.m., it is dangerous. Insecurity in Puerto Rico is the number one problem right now. Who created? Liberals. They created that. This guy does not mention that there are more than 100 schools that they're going to close. Why? Because they're broke. And why do that every single corrupt government does when they know that they're broke? What is the number one single thing they get rid of? Schools. Why do they target schools? Because the more ignorant the people have, the better they can handle it. The better government, the better they can handle their corrupt system. That's the reason why. And this guy was asking that he was hitting it. He killed him with those questions. And you should see the video, how he actually react whenever he called. Why do we have to take a corrupt government like this? He calling corrupt right there. You should see all the news that are coming out from Puerto Rico. People are pissed because the government is so corrupted. They have destroyed in the hands of liberals, and this is the reason why the Democratic Party is pushing for Puerto Rico to be part of the United States. Not that they don't deserve it. Let me get that right. Whatever the people in Puerto Rico wants to be, I welcome it. I welcome. Okay? If they want to be part of our country, let it be. Yes, it's about time that they do. But without liberal governments. This is one of the most liable, most corrupt governments I ever seen. My ex-girlfriend is from Puerto Rico, and she was like telling me stuff that I was like, what? I'm serious. So that is the reason why many Puerto Ricans are coming to me, and they like to share the stuff with me. I adore all those messages from my friend from Puerto Rico, my brothers and my sisters. Thank you and welcome to my page on Facebook, and welcome to the Fake News Show. Now we can continue with the news. Now, let me just tell you the breaking news. The Central Bank of Iraq has a new website. Yes. And if you go to the website, just let me tell you, it depends on what the browser you're using. I found some little mistakes on the browser. They probably, it's because it's brand new. Some of the pictures are not displaying. Probably they will display on Fox, but not on Chrome, not on my site. And these are things that they're gonna have to fix. But why is it that the Central Bank of Iraq changes its website? It's obviously because they are about to revalue. And what they are offering in this interface for their website, it is completely different than the old website. Okay? So just let me tell you that. You need to go through it. You need to go, and if for those who wants to see it, you can go to cvi.iq. cvi.iq. Take a look at the new website from the Central Bank of Iraq. Okay? Now let's talk about the Central Bank of Iraq, please. Alright, because I say many times, if we are looking for RB, we need to look for the banks. The banks are the owners of any RB, revaluation, even devaluation. They are the owners. They're not being owned by the family, the Dragon family, or the elders. No. Revaluation are being owned by banks, by banksters. Okay. All right. So if you go, we need to see right now things that are going to change. Right now in Iraq, they announced that they are going to come out with a supplemental budget. What is the supplemental budget? The supplemental budget will show the new rate of the dinar. When they show the new supplemental budget, they will also show some specific changes after the new reality. Their new reality means the new financial system, the new financial rate, how they're going to be paying the citizens, how they're going to be, everybody's going to be actually having a clear view of how everything's going to be looking at after their reality, their financial reality shows when their currency revalue. So it's not an easy thing, okay? So that's why they're coming up with a supplemental budget. Now, don't expect the supplemental budget will be open this week. I don't think so. The supplemental budget probably be open in July. Hello? Okay? Because I'm still saying that the RB will happen in July. No, not the RB, I'm sorry. I take that back. I'm sorry. The RB will happen at any time, at any day. Hello. I'm not going to contradict myself. The RB will happen at any time, any day. The public exchange has been set for July. Now, let's remember what day is today. Today is the 22nd. We have one more week and June is goodbye. Okay? Alrighty then. So, let's go back to the other news. I got how can I say, this is not a breaking intel because I do not consider this a breaking intel. Number one, because I told you that I cannot give you breaking intels, but I will disclose information, not from my sources, because my sources I'm not touching my sources, okay? I will display information from people that I know from Iraq, and they're telling me these things that are happening. Okay, so they're not breaking intel. Probably just a, how can I say it? It is word to mouth what exactly happening in Iraq, inside Iraq, okay? So it's good to know what they're saying, right? Okay. So now they're saying that the date that they're going to distribute the low denominations, the low denomination of the Iraqi dinar will be this weekend. Now, we heard that before, right? Yes, we heard that before, okay? Let me just tell you something. I told that to that guy, and I said, listen, his name is Abdul. Listen, Abdul, we heard that before. I mean, we're really tired of this. We know that for a fact that if they distribute the lower dinars, they must have a new rate. Because if they don't have a new rate, it's going to be catastrophic for their economy. The whole RB can just dissolve in a minute, like this. Okay? So they need to implement this in a way that so good that it will be implemented with no interference and with no problems at all. Okay? So this guy is a banker. Abdul is a banker. And by the way, Abdul is listening to me. Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. He's also a Christian. Hello. All right? And he's also a Christian. He's a Catholic. He told me this. And it's really, really interesting what he told me. He said, Benny, what they are trying to do is that they're going to make it so quick, he said, that next time the banks are open, they will offer the new dinars, the low dinars, and it's going to be so quick. All right? So, they say that he said that he talked to two bankers from the CVI, and he said that the lower dinars will come out this Saturday. And he said, okay, and I told him, okay, I'm going to take this news not as a breaking intel, but as a rumor. Is that okay? He said, yes, definitely. But he looked, because I Skype with a guy, okay? He looked like this is it. I even told him, I said, Abdul, you look so confident about this. And he said, yes, I ain't confident. I'm just telling you. I said, okay, that's fine. So take it as a rumor, okay? Take it as a rumor that the low dinars will come out, and we probably have chaos after that. Okay? So let's go to the news again. So the supplemental budget, the lower dinars are covered, the new CBI website, and today's show is called the Abadi announced that he will make the announcement of liberation of Iraq. Now we heard that before, right? Yeah, we heard that before, and everybody's expecting that this weekend will be it. Okay. Everybody's expecting that everything will be done this weekend. Now, we heard yesterday about the breaking news that they basically blow up the mosque, the Al-Nuri mosque, and that place where Abadi is supposed to plant the flag, looking at the camera, and said, Iraq is free, and then all of a sudden something was going to trigger, right? Okay. Let's put all the pieces together again. And I know many people love it, and all other people hate it. Because I have emails coming up to me, say, man, why you always have to repeat that again? And the reason why, because the same people that is asking me why you have to repeat that again are coming to me and said, hey man, I'm confused. Why are you saying this? You see what I'm talking about? So I'm going to repeat that again, just a little bit. I said that we need to wait for bad news. I said that we need to enhance bad news. said that do not be surprised if they come out and say we'll have no intentions or revalue the dinar. Okay, that's what I have said. Okay? Now, let's talk about bad news. All right? So, what is one thing that I did not too long ago? I came out with a show announcing that the inflation is coming up. Why this inflation is coming up? Well, that will be the number one issue, especially the liberals that are going to promote all through the United States. Not because it's a made-up thing, but because it is part of chaos and panic. Well, because they're going to use this against Donald Trump, like he had anything to do with the high inflation. Remember that the high inflation was basically predicted and announced after the Federal Central Bank of the United States raised the interest rate. So all the experts, including myself, said, okay, here comes the inflation. So I have a news that I found it, and it looked very good. And it said about the rent, basically how much anybody or people needs to actually earn hourly in a state, depending on what state you're living, because of the high cost of rent. Now, let me just tell you something. The big majority of the people within the United States rent. They don't own. Why? Because the more we have liberals destroying our government, and not only liberals, because also Republicans have done it, okay? The establishment. They have done the American dream more difficult and more difficult to achieve. And what is the American dream? Buy your own home. Okay? So, that's bad news. Because I live in California, and according to this map, I need to earn, people in California needs to earn around $30 an hour just to pay off a one-room department. Now, let me just tell you something. The minimum salary in California right now, they're supposed to increase it to $15, but right now it is about $11. We're not even close to half of what we need to earn to actually afford an apartment. Many other states are even in worse condition than the California. And watch as this news get into the hands of liberals and even some Republicans, and watch how it will be delivered and it will be handled by corrupt politicians. Watch. And if I tell you something, it's because something's coming out. Now, this has been already addressed many times by other people who knows what's going on, because by the time we exchange, okay, because we are not even 1% of the people who are going to get rich. But just to let you know how bad news are coming. They're coming in a way that is not calling your attention because you're not reading the news. But eventually will affect not only you, it will affect everybody. And I'm going to tell you why. Because many people, not too long ago, probably it was 3 days ago, on my personal Facebook account, I upload a video where I show homeless in about 15 miles away from downtown Los Angeles, a place where for many, many years there was no homeless at all. And I said that I work for the homeless because I did work for the homeless. I did assist the homeless for a year and a half. And I was shocked to see the increase of people on the street living because of this situation. You have to wake up your mind right now, because I'm going to give you some information you're probably not going to get it from your guru. And it's going to affect you. Trust me, I'm telling you, it's going to affect you whether you have a house, whether you have an apartment. It's going to affect you big time. Okay? I'm not going to tell you how because I'm going to get in trouble. But I'm telling you right now. The massive counts of homeless people in California only, in Los Angeles, I'm talking about in the city of Los Angeles, 10 years ago, it was 45,000. And then, this year, there's a study that is still counting people. And right now, I got a call from one of the guys who actually doing the research and doing all the counts of all the people that is on the streets. He count already 175,000 people. That is huge, isn't it? Let me just tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. Everybody's talking about the Obamacare and how catastrophic the Obamacare was for a lot of people and for the economy and for the government. But nobody's talking about one fact, that it wasn't because of the Obamacare. And I'm telling you because I am a Republican. If it wasn't because of the Obamacare, hundreds of thousands of homeless will never have any type of medical coverage. Before the Obamacare, many of these people had very little to cover. Very little. Depending on donations, depending on the humanitarian organization that help these people. Then now that Donald Trump, and not Donald Trump, but the Republicans are right now handling the new healthcare that they keep in a secret, and now it's being attacked by many liberals. I just hope that does not take that little, because it's basically little, but it's a lot, coverage that these people really need. Because literally, these people need a lot of help. These people are being discriminated by unfair society that just because they're living on the street, they're not worth to help. This is the thought and this is the feeling of many people. It only takes one to experience what they're going through and let you know exactly what is the situation. I did that. So many, and not only one, because there's other people that I have on my Facebook page, about 7. They are living on the streets, believe it or not. They probably the only thing they have is a cell phone. And they got to go through heat. They got to go to criminals. They got to go to hunger. They got to go to a lot of things that they don't have. And they probably have maybe, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 currencies, maybe dinar, that they probably save it. They are holding currencies. Now let's put that piece of the information and let's go back to the prophecy of God through their prophet when he says, I'm going to release all the sources so people can be clothed, can be fed. He is listening to these people. He is listening to those people who are urgently needs the help. They need to get out from the street and need to live decently. Because not everybody it is sick of mentally and not able to support themselves. No, not everybody. Just to let you know this information, because you need to be aware, and I'm letting you know this information because we are about to change our life. I've been telling you. We are going to change, and you need to have this information because the only obligation you're going to have, my friends, is your moral obligation. Your moral obligation. Okay? I'm not telling you, you're only going to get 20% and 80% I will keep it because you're not into my private exchange. I don't have no private exchange. I don't have no private group. I'm the guy who many are attacking because I do not support private exchanges group. Okay? Just to let you know, the only obligation you're gonna get right now is for you to change the life of people who actually needs it. And I believe many of you will do that. I believe many of you will do the right thing to do. Okay? So, let's go for the other news. I'm also gonna post the news that I just told you about the rent. I'm gonna post that on Facebook. It is really interesting, very, very interesting. And I know that for a fact is gonna come out in the hands of politicians because they're gonna have to handle that. There are many things that are coming up. I'm telling you, you're gonna be shocked. Okay. All right. So the other information I got for you, it is, if I can get it. All right. Let me log in because the other thing is that when I do my show, I log off because of continuous chatting. And it actually, comes out of my show, comes out of my on my broadcasting. And I've been asking my people, don't chat while I'm doing this because it's, you can hear all the ping ping, all those noises. It basically disturb my broadcasting. Anyway, so I just told you about the brand new CVI website. I want you to take a look. It is cvi.iq. Okay, that's the website. I also told you about the full liberation announcement in a few days that Abadi's been saying, and I'm still waiting for bad news. And many of you probably, for some who are already listening to me, or probably first time they're listening to me, why Benny is waiting for bad news? Well, because I have told everybody that if we got the bad news, the more closer we got for a public exchange, I'm not talking about the RB, I'm talking about the public exchange. The more closest we got from public exchange, the worse the news are going to be. Okay? Because that's the way it is. All right? So let's go back to the RB. This weekend they are telling you that the body's going to announce the liberation of Mosul. This weekend now they're telling you that after the announcement, boom, the rate will change. Now, I've been telling you, I'm going to repeat it again. That's what many gurus, 99%, are saying. Not me. Okay? Not me. We might have the change of the rate, but not on the same day. I'm sorry. Okay? But it will close. It will be very close, I'm telling you. Hey, July is in about 2 weeks, right? So, there you go. So, that's my thing. Now, the other thing I need to tell you is this. The blow up of the Al-Nasuri Mosque was a premeditated, orchestrated event. Now, why am I saying this? There's a reason why I'm telling you this. Now everybody's saying, so where the Abadi will make the announcement? Okay, let's put that pieces together again. If you go to Iraqi news, you're gonna find a pattern, okay? And you're gonna have to ask yourself why they're saying this. Why? Not too long ago, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I said there was a news that people in Iraq were attacking Abadi because he was about to leave to Saudi Arabia. So why is it that so wrong for Abadi to actually go to Saudi Arabia? Well, let me just tell you why. Saudi Arabia had a lot against Iraq because Iraq, it is the westernized version of Arab countries in the world. It is the westernized version of what it's supposed to look a country who has been changed by the United States. Their minister doesn't wear the custom or the clothes that these Arabs use every day. As you can see, he wears a suit, even the way he speaks. Many of the kings in Saudi Arabia don't even like to speak English, not to mention the Sharia law. In Iraq, there is no Sharia law. As a matter of fact, in Iraq, we see more Christian churches than any other country in the Arab world. Pay attention to that. So, the big problem with Saudi Arabia, with Iraq, was that they're not doing what they're supposed to do if they are Islam. It's an Islamic country. That is the problem. So today, in the news, Abadi says that the relationship between Iraq and Saudi Arabia will be upgraded, meaning they're going to be fixed. Okay? Why? Because they have differences, right? Now, why am I saying this? I'm just gonna give you a little hint. What might happen. I say might. Okay, I'm not assuring you anything. I say might. Listen. The announcement of the liberation of Iraq might be in a church, in a Christian church. Okay? It might happen inside or outside a Christian church. Alright, it might. I'm just telling you, I'm not assuring you, but it might. Why am I saying this? Because I have sources inside Iraq that actually probably happened. Because one of the Christian churches that was attacked so much by the ISIS and Daesh, it is a Christian church. So, just to let you know, I just want to give you that information. I also would like to make an announcement. Alright? And you can take this announcement as you want to take it. But starting today, I'm preparing for my last show. Yes, I'm preparing to broadcast my last show. Because when the RB happens, that will be it. Okay? I've been told by my own sources. This is the only thing that I'm going to share with you. I've been told by my own sources that they're not going to provide me with the 800 number. Because, all these problems that I have by exposing stuff that they don't want me to expose, they finally come out and tell me, we're going to let you go, Benny, but we're not going to give you the 800 number. Anyway, other gurus will get the 800 number. I don't care. They probably gave me the 800 number for me to have, but not for me to share with you. It doesn't matter because it will go public. Understand that? It will go public. Everybody will know this. Everybody will find out about it. Okay? It's not going to come out in the news. Don't expect that this will come out in the mainstream media. It's not going to come out in the mainstream media. But I can assure you something. TNT will have it. Yes. John Nigel will have it. Yes. Alright? Even the idiot of David Smith will have it. But he will not give it to you because he's doing his private stuff, right? Alright. So, I'm preparing to do my last show. When you see the last show, I will announce it. Because after the RB, I will go on with my life. And I'm going to close the fake news show. The library of my show will stay on my channel forever. For prosperity. So every one of you guys can show it to your sons, to your grandfathers, to your godchildren and all the children after you. So they can take a look, listen to the show, and just understand why you have to go through in all those years. At least for the last 3 years that you guys are sticking with me. By me providing you this information of the RB. So is it a good thing that Benny is doing the last show? You gotta, I'm telling you, it is the most beautiful thing. Because everything is about to end. Okay? Everything is about to end. And everybody's gonna have to go their own way. And it's gonna be really beautiful to see everyone who's listening to my show, who's been following me, especially the people in Twitter, that they said they are basically demanding me to let them know an hour before I go on the air. They will be able to go to my channel and listen to all those shows and remember and share with their loved ones what it was like to wait for this blessing. So, I'm about to do it. When am I going to do my last broadcast? Well, it's obviously, if the RB happens, I will broadcast my last show. Now, I either do one or two things, and I want to make sure that everybody understands this. I'll probably do my last show after the RB happens, or I'll do my last show when the public exchange is being announced. Either way, I will do my last show. I will make sure that this is exactly what's going to happen. What's going to be in my last show is going to be very special. It's going to be very memorable because I'm going to have people hopefully coming up in my broadcast live. Hopefully, I say hopefully. I'm not assuring everything. That will make sure that they let you know what it was like in this tribulation of waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for something that many, even the government, tell you it was a scam. Okay? So, just to let you know, for now, there's nothing else for me to tell you but to wait tomorrow. If I have something very important to say, wait for my show. Subscribe in my channel. Subscribe in my YouTube channel. You will be notified automatically. Oh, by the way, for those people who are in my YouTube channel, you're not watching, or you're not listening to my show, to my live show. You are listening after my live show went out. If you want to listen to my live show, you gotta go to my Spreaker channel. I will leave under the video my channel, so you can go there and subscribe. So anytime I go live, you will get a notification. You'll be able to listen to my live show. Okay? Thank you so much for all the beautiful letters that I emails and letters that I also received. Today I received a letter from Ireland. A letter from Ireland. I was like, oh my God! I was on the floor. It was beautiful. And also I want to thank the pastors and ministers, because a lot of churches are listening to my show. And yes, I'm sorry that I use profanity. I'm sorry, I'm not perfect. I promise you, from now on, I'm not going to use any more profanity. I didn't know that many churches are listening to my show, so I promise you that I will not use any profanity from now on, okay? Thank you so much for your attention. I'll meet you next time if I got something important to say. For now, God bless everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Fake News Show with Benny. See you next time for more conspiracy news, current events, and intel from the most controversial show from Montserrat Radio.